Get your lightsabers up, everyone, and please welcome to the MEGACON 2024 stage. Let's hear it for Ewan McGregor!
Hello there. Hi, guys. How's it going?
You mentioned screening the Obi-Wan series, the first couple episodes. What was it like? I know you've answered this question a bunch, but maybe not for folks here live. Just talk a little bit about returning to the character of Obi-Wan for the Obi-Wan series. Yeah.
Well, I was lucky to see it. I was lucky to see it first alone because I was a producer on the show too.
Sure.
And so by the time Deborah had finished them, I went down to see the first three, and I went down to where we'd shot in the studio where we shot the series, and met Deborah, and she sat me in this little screening room, and then pressed play and left, you know. And so I just watched 1, 2, and 3 alone, and it was awesome to see. I mean, it was just incredible to see, but because I was so thrilled. With her work, she's so talented, Deborah Chow, our director.
Yeah, let's give it up for Deborah Chow,
really,
who brought
really,
the.
Yeah. And she directed them all. You know, it wasn't usually in television series, there'll be a director will maybe direct the first 1 or 2 maybe to sort of set the tone, and then often that's it, and then other directors come in. But I was so thrilled that I wanted to have just one person's vision, and my God, she's so brilliant. She knows the world inside out. She was always telling me what was what about, you know, like things that I was supposed to know about the world. You know, she was keeping me right.
That's funny. Was there something that you kind of came back to you, or that you forgot?
All the time.
Names of planets, names of droids.
Yeah, and the names of everything. No, she was brilliant, and. But when I watched the last 3, I did the same. So I went away, they weren't quite finished. I watched the first 3. And then I came back some weeks later and again sat alone. But I was like, the 6th one really got me, you know. I was just sitting there with tears rolling down my face watching it. I was so touched by it.
Oh, and so were we, of course.
Yeah, so pleased. It's just so happy. Just so happy to be... that we managed to do it, and also that we did it like that. Like I feel like we could have, you know, there's always, it was originally going to be a movie, and you know, I've often thought, well, should it have been a movie, but I kind of think it's great that we did it that way, and it's a longer story, and hopefully it's more satisfying as a result. We got more screen, you know, more time to weave a story. I just hope we can do another one. Can everyone write to Disney?
What?
If we could just, I'll give you some email addresses at the end. And I just say, dear Disney, let's have a bit more of Obi-Wan Kenobi, please.
It's right, dear Disney at Disney.com. Yeah.
I think Disney America, it should find them.
Yeah. Talk about coming back. We are about to bring, as you just said, your brother, Anakin Skywalker, on stage a little bit later. What was it like seeing him back on set for the first time, the first show?
Well, it's amazing. It was amazing because you can't imagine. We were very close when we shot the prequels, you know.
Sure.
I mean, I'd done the first one, which Hayden, of course, wasn't in. And then we shot the first one in London. And then they moved the whole shoot to Australia, where we shot the second one and the third one. And so Hayden arrived, and I just was so impressed with him right off the bat. He was such a serious young actor, and he just had so much thought about it, and he talked about it in a deep way, like he was really trying to mine it for everything that he could get out of it as an actor, and I really admired that about him. And we were shooting away, you know, I didn't live in Australia, neither did he, so we spent a lot of time together, and we just had this, and we spent a lot of time learning these fights, and then we had that relationship on screen, you know, the sort of brother. What's the fancy word for brotherhood? Paternal? No, that's father.
Oh, yeah, fraternity.
Fraternal relationship?
Yeah, is it? Fraternal,
right?
yeah, fraternal, yeah.
Got a bit of jet lag.
Yeah. Three flights,
Three
everybody.
flights, everybody. Brotherly relationship. And yeah, I just love him to bits. And then we hadn't seen each other for a long time. So when I knew that we were going to be doing this series, and I'd met him by chance during the lockdown. I met him somewhere, and I was able to say, "Look, I think we're going to do a series of Obi-Wan." And at that point, we didn't know exactly what the story was. I had no idea if we were going to. So I wasn't able to say, you know, I want you to be in it or anything like that.
Right.
It's because I didn't know yet where the story was going to go. And but then when I did know that we were going to ask him to do it, oh God! And then when we got on set, I mean, I've never seen so many people on a film set in my life. I came on set and I was like, looking around, there's an awful lot of people. There's a lot of people on this film set today. Like, what's going on? And then I turn around and Hayden's coming on. I'm like, oh, I see, because everybody was there to see him.
Yeah.
And it was
both of you. They were here
reason,
to see both
for
of
good reason.
you. Yeah.
No, but and
but
it
you
was
were
kind
already
of,
part
and
it.
the first thing we did, I think I'm right in saying the first thing we shot was the flashback sequence in episode 4, and so we were also like, we looked like we did in. I mean, we had dots all over our face, so they could maybe do a little bit of help making us younger gentlemen. But apart from that, we were in the old costumes, you know, and then we were doing that fight that was just great. So yeah, it was an amazing experience, and it was like what I love about shooting it also was that when the crew for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series were real fans, you know, like an awful lot of people that work in Star Wars now are fans, you know, and that wasn't the case before when we made the prequels, but I loved that. So there was like a real buzz whenever we were together.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You mentioned being a producer on the series. Obviously, you've gotten, you don't only act now, you produce, you direct. American Pastoral, a film that you direct recently. Make some noise for that. Yeah.
Thank you. That means a lot. Thank you very much.
Yeah, obviously a lot of fans out there. What was that like transitioning to directing? Is it something that you found new challenges with, and is it something you would continue to pursue moving
I'd
forward?
love to do it more. I mean, it was a really big learning curve in everything other than the actual shoot.
Sure.
Because the actual shoot, I've been doing this for a long time, and the idea of being a director just means I get to do it the way I know that I love to do it best myself as an actor, and so I was totally. That bit of it was just absolutely brilliant. I loved working with the actors. I was lucky to have brilliant actors to work with. I had good writing, great design, good costumes. You know, everything about it was good. The stuff I didn't know about was all the pre-production and all the post-production, and that was something that I had to learn on the job. But I realized that it's all just taste.
Yeah.
And you have to have courage to allow the worst kind of directors, the ones that don't want to relinquish their power to decide everything. You know, it's just not how it works. It's not you're not making a painting, you're making a movie, and that is a collaboration. And the best directors are the ones who stand in the middle of all the talent that they've pulled around them to make the film and allow those people to work the best they can.
For sure.
And that takes a bit of courage, but that's what I tried to do, and that's what I thought I would do in the post-production as well. Editing is very much taste, you know? It's like, you can't really put your finger on it, but it's just taste. It's like, we need to cut here. You're like, look, I can't really explain why, but... and I loved it very much, and I loved the film we made.
You're so generous to your fans, obviously meeting them at conventions, which is a huge place for fans of the Star Wars genre to meet, right, and hang out together. You were so nice to these folks here. So we have some fan questions that were submitted online. We reached out to a bunch of fan groups and folks that are here in the audience. From Michael Bigelow from Palm Beach, Florida. For the duel on Mustafar in Revenge of the Sith, who obtained the worst injury during the rigorous choreography, or did anyone?
We always got our knuckles smacked.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just par for the course with that kind of thing. But what's interesting is this sort of, we could talk about it, but how the swords have evolved.
For sure.
And when we made the prequels, we had a guy who had like a cart. He had like what?
Somebody named Thomas.
Thomas.
Is it
yeah.
Thomas?
Thomas, the lightsaber maker. Is he here? Thomas? Are you here?
Thomas is in the bathroom. Somebody get him. No.
I was going on to say Thomas, obviously, had his cart,
Yeah.
and we had these. They were made of some sort of alloy. They were metal.
For sure.
And they would bend after every single take. And when Hayden and I were fighting each other, often didn't make it through the take because we just went at each other so hard. And that they've changed now. So now they have actual swords that light up, which is what gave us those amazing lighting changes in that end scene in the series. By chance, as we were rehearsing the scene, you know, we had our swords here, and his face was we were blue. Someone get that phone, will you? Nice. And then as we moved over here, our faces turned red, and it was just like magic, you know. We were like, oh my God. So but they don't fight as well as the old ones do. They have a tendency to sort of go, sort of like boing, like that. Which just isn't quite as satisfying as when they used to go whack, you know.
Yeah.
And but we would always catch each other's fingers because they don't have George, in his wisdom, decided not to give them a hilt.
Oh,
Most sword designers in the world, you know, throughout history, have put a hilt there so that you don't get your knuckles wrapped. But anyway,
and then
I just don't need one.
And then Kylo Ren decides his hilt is a lightsaber, which is completely ridiculous.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, he's got all the protection he needs right there. Look at there. Look at that. Is that?
There it is. There
is that too much to ask for? A little. Thank you. My daughter Esther is filming with. She's playing Nicole Kidman's daughter in a movie right now.
What?
Yeah. Full circle, guys.
It's amazing.
Yeah, maybe no one's meant to know that.
Yeah. I was going to ask for the title, but
checked.
maybe...
I should have checked before I just announced that to the world. Proud dad moment, sorry.
Uh-oh, what's happening here? Looks like who's coming out? Oh my gosh, everybody, it's Hayden Christensen! Let's hear it, everybody, for Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor. Give it up for them both. Yeah, okay. Yep. Hey, everybody, we're going to say goodbye to him, but it was a pleasure having him on stage. Give it up for Ewan.